Good evening, YouTube. This is TG9304. It's about to be midnight, 57 minutes before midnight, and I was bored, decided to make an upload video. There had a lot that had happened the past few days that shit don't make sense. First off, the most famous nation news is the Zimmerman case and Troy Trayvon. The thing is, though, that trial was bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. That trial was so much bullshit. Yes, you heard this a lot from other people, but in my opinion, things could have done differently. And to point out the most simplest things, to me, it's not about the racist issue. It's about morality and ethics. Zimmerman had the choice to apprehend Trayvon. He had the choice to have him in handcuffs. He had the choice to interrogate him calmly and relaxed. He had the choice to not be so fucking violent. There's been reports that Zimmerman has been a troubled person in his, childhood. And I don't understand what the fuck is going on with that guy. If Zimmerman had planned, carefully, relaxed, and do things right, he wouldn't have to kill a black boy who's a high school student, who's barely getting to understand what it's like to be an adult, who does not look like a thug. He just looks regular kids. I might not know him, but I know he's too damn young to understand how to be a thug. His parents seem decent. His parents treat him well, and I guess he treats his family well. Yes, he has been accused for several issues about misbehavior. And I'm like, okay, maybe he had some trouble issues when he was a child or during his teenage years. But it doesn't make him look bad. It makes him look bad if he doesn't fix himself right. But that's way out of the point. The point is, going to that Zimmerman case, I thought he will be counted as guilty because the only examinations they had was drug test of the black boy. They were testing the kid. What was he going through? Did he have drugs? What did he dress? They did a lot of examinations for the trial, but they never did any examinations of George Zimmerman. They don't know if he was high. They don't know if he was drunk. They don't know if he was tired. They don't know what's going on in his mind. And so it's like saying, wait, do you guys trust him by word? I understand he's a police of the neighborhood, or neighborhood police, whatever they have him. But it's the middle of the night. If he sees someone suspicious, he should stop and think, okay, maybe I'm going way out of my head. I don't know what happened, but I should approach the kid as slowly as possible. He didn't do that. He called the police for backup. The one who's on the other side told him to stay out of trouble. Do not go to that kid. He goes away from his position and goes to the kid, interrogates him. Somehow, at some point, they had a fight during the interrogation between each other, and shit just happened. He decided to pull the trigger and kill the kid. I'm like, why did you have to do that? That kid looks less threatening than a mere adult who's in his 20s. Who in his 20s? So I'm like, wait, this guy's 17. What the hell would he be doing with a gun and drugs? What the fuck would he be doing with guns and drugs? Really? That kid could have survived that gun wound if they speed up the time to get that boy to the hospital as fast as they can. He might need a heart transplant. I don't know. That wound will still be there, but it's gonna be there as a memory that he's been through hell with this policeman. I'm staying away from that racist stuff. It has nothing to do with racism. It's about the morality and the ethics. In Florida, they have rules or laws saying that a police officer can harm the prosecutor or the enemy if he feels in danger and as the act of self-defense. Okay, grabbing a fucking gun or a knife or any other weapon without your bare fist is the last thing anyone should do. Zimmerman, he's bigger than me. He's 29 years old, and he went to police academies, and he probably learned how to fight back. And why did he use a gun as his first resort? Using a weapon is the very last resort that anyone could have to put up with. But if it's a weapon user versus a weapon user, there's going to be a power struggle to who's better than the other. And so to me, it's just sad of how fucked up the government is at that time. It's fucked up that how fucking corrupted the policemen are at this time. They don't mention anybody else but him. What's even worse is that some people are trying to make Zimmerman look good. A few days after the trial of the Zimmerman versus Trayvon, he was chilling at his house. One day, though, after leaving his house for a drive, he saves a white family of 4. After a car crash, the family of 4 was stuck inside the car, and the car was like upside down. So, wait a minute, where the fuck did he come from? I thought he was just being a pussy and just hide inside his house and not give a shit, because he's going through, Zimmerman is going through a bunch of bullshit from different people who are threatening him, who are making some random comments, who feel hate for him for everything that he just done. And just because you did one right, Zimmerman, does not make it right for you. You did one wrong, and 2 wrongs don't make it right. Because you did more than one wrong. You abused your power, you knew your rights, but you played as though you were like almighty or the boss of everything. It's a bunch of bullshit. And Zimmerman, this video is me talking about you, how fucking messed up you are, on how you acted during the trial. We can play back that video where where we see your face emotionless. You have no fucking emotion. You have shown no sadness, no remorse for what the fuck you did. That made me sick. That makes me think you're not even close to human. You were just sitting there, just fucking chilling in the fucking room, in the trial room, and you look in the camera and you look back out. You look back in, you look back out, with no emotion. It sickens me to the point where I develop hatred. What sickens me even more is that either you were fucking lying, or you were not telling the perfect truth. That you're afraid that what would you say would get your ass out of trouble, or you're afraid of that if you said something else, you will get yourself in deep shit. And if you told a lie, you probably can get away with it. But you're the only one who's been through that case. You're the only one that has the experiences. You're the one who experiences the death of Trayvon Martin. You're the one that shot the kid. And forevermore, you will remember that. No one's going to take it away from you but yourself. That memory is going to be part of you forever and ever until you hit the grave, 6 feet under. You will tell the truth, not to the world, but to your family. Because you know what shit just got real back then. You will find the time to explain to your family what the fuck just happened, and you'll keep it to yourself and to your family. You're not going to keep it forever. You're going to write it down in some notebook or in your computer and just type it away and think that maybe you did something right to help you with the burden. But that burden is going to be more extra weight for you. It's going to be such a burden for you that people will look back at you and say, man, Zimmerman, you're fucked up. I don't know what happened that night, but you sure damn do remember what happened that night. You're the one that started that shit. You're the one that had caused the black community and every other community to start a riot, to start a reform, to start a parade of hate. Hopefully we can move on from this, but we know now that the family is having a hard time. I understand what it's like to lose a family member. I understand what other people have gone through to lose family members. Even if they were just friends for a couple of years, a minute, a second, a single hello, a single goodbye. But they have this connection where they know each other, that they want to connect each other, and sometimes they go even farther to becoming more friends. They become allies. They could become BFFs. But George Zimmerman, this advice is for you. You're gonna keep that memory forever. You will probably suffer some psychological issue and some behavioral changes due to your character and your memories. But know one thing. What you've done is part of you, and no one can take that from you. The memories are going to be part of you. No one will take that from you. whatever you learn from that experience, whatever you learn, whenever you learn, and whatever you learned is going to be part of you. No one's going to take it away from you. The only thing you can do now is tell the truth whenever you feel like it. You probably won't tell the whole world. You probably won't tell it to your closest friends, but the only closest friends is your family. If it's going to help you keep yourself sane, go ahead. Tell the truth. Whatever helps you relax. Remember one thing though. You did a wrong that can never be corrected. You have the chance to think, to do what's right. You had the chance to do something good for that kid, but you negated that chance for yourself and for that kid to live on. Also, I will be criticizing you for a little bit more. I believe you're inconsiderate of what you have done to other people in your job. You have been inconsiderate to other people. It's not a lie. I could already tell. I haven't met you, but you have been really inconsiderate in some cases. See, that kid, you could have been considerate to see if he was part of your community, if he was somehow related to your family or to your friends. If you had known that kid, you would be like, oh, I know that kid. Let me talk to him. I want to ask him why is he in the middle of the night. You could be at least considerate of to know who the hell is that boy. Who is that boy's child? Who is that boy's son? Who is that boy's grandson? Who is that boy's father? Does the kid have a child? There are people who are grown up already, who already have children at such a teenager age that they think they're adults already, and they think they can put up with it. I've seen that a lot. Trust me, I've seen that a lot nowadays. But they're willing to put up with their responsibilities at a young age. When they get to 30 years old, their kids are going to be like 5 years old. That's a surprise. The thing is, though, Zimmerman, you were the most exciting part of this year's time, where you did something wrong, and that caused a riot for a lot of people. No matter how many rights you do, you cannot always clear the wrong that you've done. Just like no matter how many wrong you do, or how much wrong you have done, does not correct or does not change or unjustify the right you have done. You might have been protected well from the laws in Florida, but you haven't protected yourself of your morality and ethics. For now, you will learn what it's like to actually burden the hate of other people, that they don't even know this child, but they believe that kid is part of their community. There are some people who are related to him, and there's some people outside of the family who are not even close to him will say, man, Zimmerman, you fucked up. Someone should check on you to see how the hell you are thinking the little hamster wheel you're thinking of. I don't know if you went to the military. That probably have made you messed up. But forgive me, but I won't take back what I said, because some of that facts of life might be true. But I don't think I'm gonna say sorry. I won't hate you anymore because I already said what I had to say. mostly you're just an insult to a lot of people. You even made insult to injury to the family of Trayvon Martin. It's late, but I want to say this to your face through this YouTube video because sometimes I think you were really unfair to that kid. You were inconsiderate. You think you're gonna get away with things during your lifetime, but you ain't. You're not. You're never gonna forget it. It's gonna be part of you whenever you go, whenever you sleep. It's gonna make you have nightmares. It's gonna make you have dreams. And the thing is, though, whatever you are thinking right now, you'll be like, fuck, did I do the right thing or did I do the wrong thing? But you'll find an agreement where you did right and wrong. Wrong because you're being a bit selfish, and right because you wanted to protect your life. Or right because you used the law to use a gun as self-defense, and wrong to have killed someone else's child. Now, when I mean this, imagine yourself that your kid was being interrogated by someone else, by another police officer. Imagine your kid going through the same stuff as Trayvon Martin did. He got harassed. He didn't look decent. He looked suspicious. And the police officer point at him with a gun, ready to shoot him in self-defense. The best part is, you were not there when that happened. That's the imagery I want you to think of. Imagine yourself that you're doing your work, your kid gets in trouble in the middle of the night, you're expected to come home soon, but when you got home, you're worried about your son that he hasn't come back home yet. During the meantime, your son got in trouble with the police officer, and God knows what. It's a possibility that he might survive it. There are many possibilities that would happen, but you know if something bad would happen, if he got shot just like Trayvon Martin did, just how he died, then you'll be like, wow, oh my fucking gosh, I never thought I'd get to experience this. You'll have your own epiphany of what it's like to lose a child under the same circumstances. It don't matter how or what race the police officer your son was interrogated. That's as if that would happen in any time, in any place, in any future. That's a what-if situation. So don't think it's like, wow, it's just any of the possibilities. It might not have been written yet, but it's possible. It is possible. It could be Mexican. It could be a Mexican police officer, a white, a black. It could be any race that could have interrogated your about or teenage child in the future. That he gets interrogated by any officer and got shot because that police officer did that in self-defense, and he had more right than wrong. And when you go to that trial stand, you'll be like, man, I can't believe my son is dead. Now what the fuck is going to happen? And you finally get to see the police officer that shot your child. And see how he acts like you act in the courtroom. Emotionless, no self-remorse. The person might not feel sorry for your loss. And that's how you've acted. Just pray to God that that doesn't happen to you. I'll pray to God that nobody else will have to go through that same pain. I'll pray to God that Trayvon Martin will rest in peace. I might not know him, but I sure would like to pray to him that he didn't deserve that crap. He's about to get out of high school, and you fucked up his future. He was about to live his entire life until you put that bullet to his chest. It is some bullshit, George Zimmerman. It's bullshit. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you or to your family. That way your family will feel. That way your family would not feel that same pain, just like the Trayvon family felt. And hopefully you won't feel the same pain as well. But when that happens, don't say I didn't warn you. It was just a what if situation. It might happen any time. The thing is though, are you willing to go through that, or are you willing to protect your family more than ever? Are you willing to become more intelligent? Are you willing to become more considerate of others? Are you gonna be more relaxed and more calm and more, how you say, decisive in your actions? Are you gonna be more morale? Are you gonna be more ethical about your actions? Are you gonna think straight when that happens again? And if you have some psychological issues, or you have drug problems, or whatever you have in your life, hopefully you find those solutions. Whatever problems you have, it's going to be the rest of your life. It's not going to be like, oh, it's done. No. Once the problem has started, it's going to continue until you figure out how to change it. From then on, it's done. What you've done is done, and it's uncorrectable. So I concur that you get your act straight and move the fuck on with your life. Okay, now this will be the last segment of this video. Everybody else who had who have seen the Zimmerman trial, to the other audiences in the world, please fight what is right, but don't act too fucking aggressive, because sometimes there's times to be aggressive, the right way to stand up for yourself. But if you're gonna work together with strangers to fight for a cause, fight in a peaceful manner, but not exaggerate the aggression. If you're passionate about something to fight a cause, then fight for it. But don't be too fucking aggressive, because some people will see your message as an insult. If it's one person, if you're fighting for yourself, fight for yourself what you believe in. For whatever morality or ethics, or whatever religion or religious belief you have. Because sometimes the way you think might not be the same as somebody else. Just like an artist will draw his own drawings and his own paintings, no one would understand him, but the person that drew the pictures would still love his pictures no matter what. And he'll be even more happy if someone could share, if someone understands him, the way he drew his pictures, the way he painted his paintings. And guys, I understand you guys, other people in the world, I know some of y'all are hating him, but what's the point of beating a dead horse? The dead horse is Zimmerman, and there's no point to insult him anymore, because I know there's so much hate. But transfer your hate to something else, because There's no point to threatening this man who does not get, who does not understand his own mistakes, who does not understand what he has done correctly or what he's done wrongly. To the family of Trayvon Martin, hopefully you guys can forgive Zimmerman. And if he has not forgiven, if George Zimmerman himself has not asked for forgiveness, give him forgiveness anyway. Because there's no point of hating him anymore, because the deed has been done. It's going to be a long time to recover what you're mourning from. I know what it's like, and it's not easy. Take as long as you need to, but make sure it does not corrupt you to the point where you are broken. Sometimes you're going to have to strengthen your foundations of what you have left and bring them to form a fist that has been broken and recollected. So there's no point to beat yourselves up that you guys could have been better parents. It's not about that. It's about y'all strengthening your love for one another. It's about y'all connecting each other to where you guys understand what you've been through so much. The reason I've been talking this slow is because it's freaking midnight, so please put your comments somewhere down below. Good night to everyone. This is sort of a rant, but I just want to say that straight up because it's been in my head for far fucking too long. Forgive me for my manners, but this is my own channel. I could say whatever I want, but I will respectfully say what I need to say. I won't say for the F of it or for the hell of it. I'm saying that because sometimes some people exaggerate their anger in a good way, and some of them overdo it. Like, you have no idea what kind of BS people have been saying about George Zimmerman. And there's some people who show their anger in a sarcastic way that it's fucking beautiful. Why don't I see that every fucking day? Oh man. And because that person makes you think like, wow, because he's using so much sarcasm, he wants you to think like, wow, he's showing so much hate, but in a good way where he doesn't go too fucking far in his hatred. And that's when people need to learn that you need to stop beating. There's millions of people who are watching this video and understand what I'm trying to say. George Zimmerman is already a dead horse. There's no point to over exaggerate your hate of what people build off. Exaggerate your own hate the best you can, but don't overdo it where people are gonna fuck up their minds with. There's no point of exaggerating your hate towards George Zimmerman. And George Zimmerman, I hope you learn your lessons. If you have not, then I won't feel sorry for you. But the best thing I will say is God bless you, George Zimmerman. If you can get your act straight, you will do alright. To everyone else, please get your act straight. Even the family. I know you guys are broken. It's going to be a very long time. You probably are doing your funeral later on this time of the month. And you probably will do an anniversary, a family reunion, whatever helps you recuperate yourselves in your illness and worriness, in your illness of being too worried that you lost a son. I understand that a lot of people have been through that. I have family members back then that had lost their brothers. I have friends that lost friends that were part of their families. It is not easy to forget about them because I've been connected with them spiritually or emotionally, at least, to the point where I'm like, wow, I could see how they cry. I could see how people had suffered so much that after becoming in melancholy, they become so damn depressed, they become zombies when they take antidepressant pills because they want to stop themselves from crying. It is not fucking easy. Whatever you need help on, find a psychiatrist, get friends around you, get emotional support, anything that you get your hands on. This is the time to figure out what to do and what to get things done. Yes, you guys will get your act straight. One way or another, you guys will find a way to find peace in yourselves. I can't stress this enough. People, finish beating up the dead horse, dead horse George Zimmerman already, and move on because there's no point of overdoing your hatred over him because the deed has been done. He's probably suffering some messed up issues, but those of y'all who tick him off with your comments and trolling, I bet he's more concentrating on the insults that are so great rather than the ones that are weaker. Because he already heard it over and over again, but you guys are just feeding him the anger towards everyone else. So, to summarize this video, I was talking about how, and I was doing a part audience of George Zimmerman himself, and I ended that part with the rest of the other audience. George Zimmerman, you're welcome to rewatch this video all you want, but remember this though, everyone, including yourself, George Zimmerman, get your act straight. I can't stress that enough. I won't even piss anyone off with that. I've been told that there's so many things that have happened, and this is not the time to hate each other for these issues. This is the time to forgive and not to forget. And George Zimmerman, you're gonna have to do your part to help the Trayvon Martin family. And it's your time to fucking help these people. I don't care if you had to donate money for the funeral. This is your fucking mass and your fucking insult to their injury. And if you won't take my word for it, fine then. Figure out what to make things right. If you're gonna have to quit your job as being a police officer, that'll be the first thing that people will love to see. Is you getting fired, or you quitting your job and do something else before you make that same bullshit mistake. Because sometimes it's not fair. It's not fair that other people have to suffer by your mistake. It's not fair that people have to suffer that your right is totally fucking wrong to other people's morality and ethics. And you either have to find a job or do something else. Anything that doesn't have to do with killing people or disrespecting people or having to annihilate somebody just because of their looks, of their appearances. Are you fucking dense, man? Okay. That's too far, but to summarize this video, it's a semi-rant to George Zimmerman, and it's advice to anybody else who needs to get their act straight. Finish your anger already and move the fuck on. That's all I had to say, because there's no point of beating the fuck out of a dead horse that has already been done and dealt with, and it's far under our control. But if you guys want to force yourselves, go on to it. But remember, get support from your friends. Don't over-exaggerate your anger when it's not needed to. Do that when something really bad has really happened to you. If you have a friend that's fighting against you because you're wrong, figure out what's wrong with that picture. Figure out what to do in that situation. How to work together. Yes, they'll be backfiring with words and punches and kicks and fighting and biting, but there's a solution to everything. Whatever solution works, it works, but there's a certain point where that solution might permanently damage both of y'all in the process. So there's one direction that cannot be beneficial to both of them. There's one direction that can help one but messes up the other. Or the third direction is that you find peace. Find an action that will help you create peace between one another, and to make sure that you guys don't have to deal with it anymore. That's all I had to say for this video. Everyone, including yourself, George Zimmerman, I, in my prayers, will ask for forgiveness, and I will ask for forgiveness for you, because there's some shit that I disagree about. I not even have met you yet. I am willing to ask for forgiveness. If anybody else that says otherwise, go on, hates me for saying that. But the thing is though, just because I was late, or just because I was late beating on George Zimmerman, does not mean I have a lot of hatred. Does not mean I have a lot of hatred. But the thing is though, I don't see y'all guys doing anything else, so why should I join in the fun of exaggerating my hatred? That's the thing that pisses me off most. That you guys are hating for the wrong reasons, and some of you are just feeding that anger until you find another excuse to hate him for. And I'm done hating George Zimmerman. You heard me straight up. I don't like you for what you did. That's it. Yes, a couple of swear words didn't exactly reach my point, but some people will understand it. And if you don't understand it, it's okay. I'll try making a Spanish video if I have to make you dense head to understand what I'm trying to talk about. But either way, what you've done is what you've done. You can't do anything. The best part is take care of yourself. Don't be ungrateful. Ask God for forgiveness, and ask yourself for forgiveness, and ask the family for forgiveness. And by family, I mean the one that a family that you killed their son. Ask for forgiveness from them. That will help you a lot. If not, fine, do whatever the fuck you want. Peace. This is TG934 signing out.